Where the Red Fern Grows by Wilson RAWLS. This book was first published in 1961. It's considered a children's book. The story takes place in the early 1900s, possibly 1918, 1920, 1922. I'm not really sure. Billy tells the story from his older self's point of view. As he's walking home from work, he hears a dog fight taking place. Several dogs are attacking a hound dog. He rescues the dog, and this takes his mind back to when he was 10 years old and living in the Ozarks. Billy sees an ad in a sportsman's magazine. It says, "Dogs for sale. Registered red-bone coonhound pups, $25 each." So Billy wants these dogs, but his grandfather says those kinds of dogs cost money. So Billy works odd jobs for 2 years, saving up the $50. And his grandfather decided to write the owners of the dogs, even though he wasn't sure if they still had them. But they did. And after Billy's grandpa gets a reply, the price of the dogs went down. They were $20 each. Billy would have had to wait 2 weeks to get the dogs, so he decides to walk to Kentucky to get them, and that is 20 miles away. After Billy collected his 2 pups, they stopped at a cave in the heart of Sparrowhawk Mountains. During the night, they had to fight off a mountain lion. The next day, Billy sees the names Dan and Ann carved in the white bark of a sycamore tree. So he names his dogs Dan and Ann. Back at home, Billy's family discusses moving to town. Billy doesn't like the town. Billy teaches the dogs to hunt raccoons. Dan is the bigger, bolder, and aggressive one. Ann is the smart one. The dogs communicate as a team. They care for each other deeply. When one dog gets into a mess, the other dog helps it out. The dog's fame is growing. They eventually get the reputation of being the best hound dogs around. And Billy's grandfather owns a store. And there are 2 bullies that show up, Reuben and Rain. They make Billy a bet for $2 that his hounds couldn't catch the ghost coon in their land. After they catch the coon, Billy doesn't want to kill it. Then Reuben and Rain's dog, Old Blue, appears on the scene to kill the coon. Reuben and Billy fight, but Billy gives up. So Billy's hounds fight with Old Blue. Reuben grabbed an axe to kill Billy's dogs, but he trips on a stick and falls on the axe and dies. In chapter 14, Billy's grandpa enters Dan and Ann in a championship hunt. During the hunt, a blizzard comes, but they persist. They treat 4 coons and save Billy's grandpa. The dogs win the championship. Billy gives the prizes to his family. After winning the championship, Billy and the dogs continue hunting. One night, they have a confrontation with a mountain lion. This is a devil cat of the Ozarks. Billy is injured, and so are the dogs. Dan dies, and then Ann does too because she loses her will to live. Before moving to town with his family, Billy goes to visit Dan and Ann's grave. The author says, "Nearing the graves, I saw something different. It looked like a wild bush had grown up and practically covered the 2 little mounds. It made me angry to think that an old bush would dare grow so close to the graves. I took out my knife, intending to cut it down. When I walked up close enough to see what it was, I sucked in a mouthful of air and stopped. I couldn't believe what I was seeing. There between the graves, a beautiful red fern had sprung up from the rich mountain soil. I had heard the old Indian legend about the red fern, how a little Indian boy and girl were lost in a blizzard and had frozen to death. In the spring, when they were found, a beautiful red fern had grown up between their 2 bodies. The story went on to say that only an angel could plant the seeds of a red fern, and that they never died. This book is full of life lessons. There's faith in God, prayer. There's also violence, death, and other aspects of life. There's nature, its beauty, and its harshness. There's the relationship between Billy and his dogs, and how the dogs teach Billy about loyalty, persistence, and love. Thank you for watching. Bye.